There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only one indigenous broadcaster
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if the prize is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Held to Biafra, consecrated nation, oh fatherland, peace be our solemn pledge. Defending thee shall be a dedication. Spilling our blood will count our privilege. The waving standard which emboldened thee free shall always be our flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscared we'll pass. When we are poised, the wind of battle to heal, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our joy
Yes, of course, God is indeed involved. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station. I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you good night, depending on your time zone. Radio Biafra Human Rights is being anchored by Diokpa Uchuka from Efo, who is from Abatiti. Of course, Abatiti in Anambra State. He is the man who has assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. This is one truth I do not expect everyone to understand the mindset behind it. But one day, you shall. Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station is an embodiment. Sorry for the hinges coming from the one or two technical issue anyway. Let's see if we can be able to rectify it. And so we continue. I think it's a bit better, and just hoping it will be stable. Yes, like I said, Mazimefo is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And here we are, not relenting, because we understand we have a nation to deliver. Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station is an embodiment of pro-Biafran group who has come together to be able to fashion out a way to save our people from this precarious situation. Very dangerous one. Just that most of us are not seeing what is coming. And by the special grace of the Almighty Creator, I am George ONYIBE, and I hail from Anyoma, Agbo, Delta State, Biafra land. I will, as customary demand on this platform, acknowledge members of the de facto customary government, men and women who stood their ground to ensure that the right thing is done. I acknowledge Biafra Nation Alliance, men and women who would have run away and allowed deception to overrun all of us. But against all odds, they stood their ground. You are highly appreciated. Acknowledge the remaining few indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu. If you observe since this year, their number have reduced greatly on this platform. Has anybody advised them? Anyway, if any of you are still listening, this is your platform. Come and insult. Come and insult. We shall know how long you will do that. Come and insult your father and your mother, because that is your cause. But we are your destiny and we are your doom. Indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, I have to acknowledge you until you come to your senses. And above all, I give all thanks and praises to the Creator, because without Him, we are gone as a people. And so in my humble way, I say to Him, Anye na jage mau nihina imara mai ihunanya ne nage ubiomage o juranyanya daju inwe gembangwe o dihunye dekage ebu afa do mega dadi aninine na sena ne de mau ise. Without wasting much of our time, we go to our topic this evening, which is simply titled Some Initiative to Enhance the Speedy Restoration of Biafra. Yesterday we took our time to review some of the hindrances that are causing delay to the restoration project. And it is important we consider some of the things we need to do to enhance Biafra to be restored. A lot of us are clamoring for referendum. A lot of us need constitutional amendment. A lot of us need devolution of power. A lot of us talking about regional autonomy. A lot of us are talking about the total dismemberment of the Nigerian state. A lot of us are asking for resource control. A lot of us are asking for the Bill of Rights. A lot of us, we have so much request. Some are asking for Ruga. Some are asking for ranching colony, cattle colony. People are asking for many things, but they are not of any concern to me this evening. But looking at what the people of Biafra have been requesting for, demanding for, fighting for how many years now? There are things that we should do, we need to do to enhance the speedy restoration of Biafra, the speedy initiation of a referendum. And these are some of the things we are going to review this evening. If they call for referendum now, as it stands, it will shock you. We will lose woefully. If the world and the Nigerian state decide and said, we're tired of all this complaint, we're tired of all this civil disobedience, we're tired of agitation everywhere, let us call for referendum. Of course, referendum is not because they are afraid of any of you. Referendum is just the process that will enable everyone have his or her say, input in that particular decision, based on whatever the referendum represents. And then they say, let's call for referendum. Referendum to decide whether the constitution should be amended or not. Referendum to decide whether Nigerians should be divided or not. Who are those in support of Nigerian to divide? I tell you, as it stands in Biafra land, a lot of people will not agree. There are numerous reasons. Not because they hate Biafra, not because they don't love Biafra, not because they are not being unjustly oppressed in the Nigerian state, but it's as simple as having yielded and accepted their fate in the prison of fear. A lot of things, and if they are being considered, if these issues are being addressed, if these issues are being reviewed, I can assure you the restoration of Biafra or any other request coming from the people of Biafra will be considered speedily. If indeed we want Biafra to be restored, there are so many initiatives that must be dragged to the drawing board, not only to be reconsidered, but to be holistically executed. You see, sometimes we analyze some of the things we think is good, we need to do it, but it's just going through a mere process of reconsideration. What do you think we should do? Will it work? Will it not work? How do we move from here? No, we need to take a step forward by holistically executing them. This is another year, 2022. It is a year where we just don't do the talking, but our prayer is for God to give us the grace and the enablement to do the doing. And maybe in less than 10 months from now, you will understand the power of money. You will understand that most people who are saying divide Nigeria, they have their PVC. That time they are one Nigeria. But now they are Biafrans. Now they are agitating and looking for one thing. But why is it like that? Because we have a lot of initiative that have been drawn to the drawing board, but it is just being examined, holistically narrated, but nothing is actually being done to implement, to execute such ideas. This evening, let us see if we can be able to examine about 5 of them or so, and believing that this should be considered a primary way of setting up strategy which will eventually lead to the emancipation of our people. When you talk about emancipation, it's talking about the fact or process of being set free. Free legally, free socially, free politically, without any restriction. In fact, in other words, it is called liberation. If we want to be liberated from all these evils that plagues our society, if we want Biafra to be restored, there are a lot of things we need to do. Number one under consideration this evening is we must strategically mobilize and carry out orientation campaign for our people. When I say strategically mobilized, you must move our people towards the direction of not just thinking about the idea or ideology behind the Biafra restoration. You must make their actions and their thought to as well be directed to that very aspect. How will this be possible? By way of trying to get Biafra. You must tell our people, how do we intend to get Biafra? It's been more than a decade. The agitation of Biafra is everywhere. It's no longer news around the global community. But you know, it's amazing. We've not been able to tell our people the exact pattern, the method to get Biafra. It's just the beginning of this year, during Mazi Mefo New Year address, that for the first time he unveiled the roadmap to restoration of Biafra. But outside that, since now, we have been singing, where is your roadmap? Where is your roadmap? How do we intend to get Biafra? Not until every single Biafran child who has access to social media and who is involved, who knows what we are talking about, understand the procedure on how to get Biafra. There will be delay. There are a lot of things to know about. How do we get Biafra? These are issues that have been on the table, and from one idea to another, from one suggestion to another. How exactly? What is the plan? Where is the blueprint? Let me try to digress so that you understand, you have a clearer picture of what I'm saying. Jesus had a ministry that was meant to last for 3 years. But he is carrying a vision that may last for eternity. I do not ask your affiliation or your faith in Christianity or not, whether you believe or you don't believe. But let's assume Jesus came over 2,000 years ago, as we rightly say. And he knew he was going to die at the age of 33 years. And so for 30 years, he never did the work of the ministry. And the moment he clocked 30 years, he moved in. He launched into the deep. He wanted to preach the eternal gospel of salvation. Now, understand that even at the moment where Jesus was crucified, the stable was not ready for the disciples to move on. And Jesus warned them, do not leave Jerusalem until you are completely equipped. And according to the instruction he gave to them, the Bible says when the day of Pentecost was fully come, all of them were empowered. All of them were properly informed. All of them were equipped. And nobody waited for anybody to tell them what to do. They were ready. In the same manner, if the people of Biafra understand the pattern and the method through which Biafra will be restored, there are people you are pushing today. You don't need to push them. If I had to go to school to study law, and this is because, first of all, I have fallen in love with law. First of all, I have an idea on how lawyers function, how they operate, and at least I have a vital knowledge that will guide me. And if I have to go for engineering or among other courses, there is something that actually moves me. And if somebody wants to endorse, let Nigerian divide, we want Biafra restoration, you must allow them to see that thing that will make them fall in love. They should be able to know the do's and the don't do's. They should be able to understand what they are getting involved into. If we are able to pass this message, you see, you don't need to force anybody to push for their liberation. That is why each time I come on air, I acknowledge the indigenous people of Nnamdi, because they are distracting our people. And going back to the story of Jesus I was talking about, Paul made it clear in the book of Ephesians chapter 4. He said, it was he who gave gift to men when he ascended on high. He gave some to be pastors, teachers, evangelists, prophets, and the rest of it. They knew where they were supposed to function. They knew what they were supposed to do. Do Biafran people know? Do they know? Most of the people who are heading a pro-Biafran group platform, some of them come to show us fashion, talent display. Or you have forgotten, they do swagger. A matter of life and death, you are doing swagger. You rub powder, you rub lipstick, you rub pancake. And then those who love pancake and lipsticks, those who love to do swagger, we love you. To them, Biafra restoration is about talent display. And there are another group of gossiper. They are waiting for what you will say and what you did not say. They are there. They will love you. That is why everybody is gossiping. Gossiping. What are we telling our people on how? What are we telling them that this is how we will get Biafra? Let's make saboteur. It's unfortunate. All of us has collected our share, remaining only one person, which is the real saboteur, Nnamdi Kanu. When we complain about Chinas and Wuru, DOS and other recruit, career freedom fighter, all of you say, he's a saboteur, they blackmail you. Can Nnamdi Kanu expel me? It is like what we are trying to initiate through the de facto customary government. When we get to that stage, we will leave Nigeria no option than to tell us go, than to let us to go. But we will not let it out at this moment. Don't worry. Most of them will look foolish in your sight. But our heart desire is to make sure all of you know the truth. It doesn't matter how you welcome it. It doesn't matter the game you are playing behind. They don't even know. And then some are trying to listen to Polish English, how exposed he is, how connected he is. Has he saved our people from dying? Has he saved our people, delivered our people from any form of oppression? What exactly do we have on table that our people can look into and say they are behaving like this because this is what they want to achieve? And so when you are doing what you are doing, forget about the distraction there. Let the people know your intention and how you want to achieve your aim. And that is why here on Biafran Nation Alliance, we keep telling you the way it is. How do we intend to get this Biafra? What are the plans on ground for complete evacuation and protection for our people within and outside the Biafran territory in the event of war? For instance, looking at it from the angle of dividing Nigeria, some have vowed they will never allow you to be in power. You will never be allowed to be the author of your destiny. They will brutally and forcefully impose their will on you. If we choose to go undemocratic out of Nigeria, it will amount to war. What backup plan do we have? About 3 years ago or 4 years ago, we traveled to Plateau State. We had a meeting with most of our noblemen over there. We encouraged them and gave them needs, reasons why all of them must join the Biafra Restoration Project. Why they must join. They made their fears known to us. They complained, this is our challenge. What plan do you people have regarding this issue? We took time to analyze to them. They asked series of questions. If, for instance, we get involved in war, which is the last option, and we don't pray for it. But if in the end of it all, that is the only way out of this contraction, may God have mercy on all of us. And one of them explained, if in the event of war, none of us will leave the north. And I say, why? Have you seen from any part of north, coming down from Abuja, have you examined Gwangwalada? Have you examined the narrow corridor there? Where are you going to pass? Where are you going to pass? None of our people will come back. None of them. None of them will come back. They know this. And so when a cross-section of Nigerians are pushing for war, anytime they want to fight war, they want to fight war, you tell them, no, we want to go. They say, no, we want war. It is because they have their plan, their strategies in place. How do we save our people? Each time we sit back and narrate the ordeal of the generation of 1967 and 1970, the war was called off, directly or indirectly. And then they say, we are one Nigeria, let us go back, let's forget what has happened, and then we move on. But behind, there are economic sanctions on the people of Biafra. I have said it so many times. Till my mother passed on, she don't have bank accounts. She don't have bank account. And don't think she's a poor woman. She's a very wealthy woman. She don't have bank account. Why? There were a period we were constantly robbed by those criminals who understand that they keep money at home. And then I called my mother one day. I said, why don't you open a bank account? I was still very small then. She said during the war that all the money she made was taken from her. They gave her 20 pounds. I couldn't figure it. But now I know. So each time we're talking about what happened. My mother is not from Enugu. She's not from Ebonyi. She was not there. She was in Agbo. She was in Urugodo. She was in Bende. They took her money from. I don't know how the rest of you. It depends on the role your family play. If God is merciful that at the end of the war, our people were able to submantle this conspiracy, this financial attack against our people. It was not easy for many of them. What are the plans we have for people within and outside Biafra land? Do we have any? No, do we have any? Now come on, hey, don't sing national item. Don't do this one. We are opening educational. Very soon, you people will start killing the teachers. Very soon, it's not police now. It's teachers you will start killing. I punk. If we have plan, which they are aware of. If we have plan, which they are aware of, they will key in. Where are they going to key in? No, where are they going to key in now? When I come, I tell you who is a saboteur and who is not a saboteur. When I come, I tell you who we are to kill and who we are not to kill. Where are they going to key in? And out of wickedness, we continue to do what we are doing, thinking that we are going to make headway. We are just delaying the restoration of Biafra. What are the strategies put in place in terms of engaging the global community through a democratic process? What are the strategies we have? These three issues fall under the same category. We want to get Biafra and not with war in a democratic process. What are the strategies? honestly pray that God will guide the de facto customary government to be able to live up to expectation, because there is so much cooking. If these are properly considered, it will enhance on a speedy restoration of Biafra. Number 2, if we want Biafra to be speedily restored, there have to be a complete inclusiveness. And you see, we are deliberately destroying it. Some of you have lost hope already. We are changing it. The reason I joined IPOB at the initial stage was because it came out with all inclusiveness. But when the level of fraud became much, in order for Nnamdi Kanu to cover his atrocity, which he cannot cover, he will not be able, he started disassociating from other tribes, for instance. And most of you from the southeast, you supported him. Can you I am on the Niger Delta. We see every confusion all day. Will he give us Biafra? Will he give us Biafra? We keep repeating the same thing over and over and over until it gets into your spirit. Until this truth becomes part of your beating heart. If IPOB was focusing on Southeast, I won't join. I won't join. I didn't join Bim Mozob. IPOB came out holistically. Completely. But along the line, to cover track, you begin to perceive, you begin to run back. If you are a German, if you are a Urobo man, a Shekiri man, Ugoni man, you are a Biafra man, a Gala, a Doma, you are clapping for Eastern security, you are the biggest fool and the biggest mugu. Because this was supposed to be built under the same platform we built to save our people holistically. Why did Nnamdi Kanu change it to Eastern security? That is to tell you that the mindset behind all inclusiveness is not there any longer. It brings setback to this restoration project. And those who feel that one way or the other they are not covered, how will they bring in their all and all? You see, there are ways to improvise. If we are looking for holistic Biafra, total Biafra, let us go for total Biafra. All inclusive. If we are looking for only Abo Biafra or your village Biafra, then go ahead with it. Are we following Fulani herdsmen to drag for Zamfara state? There must be a platform, all inclusiveness. This is where Ojukwu had challenge. He had challenge. He had challenge. I cannot assure you it was all inclusiveness. No. There were issues that were rolling under the carpet. Nobody advised him to correct those issues. Not because he's a coward, but because he understands what is at stake. Nigeria took advantage of this opportunity and mesmerized all of us. Let me give you, for instance, Awolowo was facing a treason charge alongside with Adakaboru. Immediately the war started, Ojukwu released Awolowo, but he didn't release Adakaboru. Gowon went behind and released Adakaboru. What do you think Adakaboru will do? Gowon release him, then he will run to Enugu and say, oh, yo, Ojukwu, give me gun, let us defend our Niger Delta. What do you think he will feel? And what do you think they were gossiping in Niger Delta? All inclusiveness. There is one word Mazimefo said. He said, all we need to do is bring up people who can manage this stage. We go to the back seat. That is a simply replica of 360-degree leadership. Your ability to be out of the system, and yet you manage the system, not manipulate the system. No, you manage the system. You are not in the system. The system still continue to revolve and function normally, not abnormally. You just watch few days, now the Kanu is not online. What do you see in our punk? Chaos. Now the Kanu mother is now a saboteur. His father is a saboteur. His brothers and sisters, they are all saboteur. His lawyer is saboteur. His media recruiter saboteur. Recovering Finance Access International, all of them are saboteur. Only the real saboteur have not been named or mentioned. All inclusiveness. For the sake of posterity, for the sake of those who endanger their life on daily basis, by preaching the gospel of restoration of Biafra, and initiating other protocol as you deem fit, other ideas as you think is better. Understand these have something to do with the life of millions of our people. Anything that has advantage has disadvantage, and anything that have disadvantage have advantage. One day people will ask question, and I hope you will be there to answer. But if you are not there, it is other people who do not know what you have done will bear the burden and the consequence of your actions today. That is why it has to be all inclusiveness. People must discuss and have their fears. If we want Biafra to come fast, no group, no single group, as far as it's a heterogeneous society, as far as we are people with different ideology, way of thinking, even though we are one, for God's sake, you are a father. For God's sake, you come from a home. Sample your children, all your children, sample them. You will see they respond differently. They respond differently. Let me digress a little bit. I have sons, and they don't behave the same way. One of them has a very strong heart, but very obedient. Very obedient. But he has an iron heart. I see it in him. He chooses to be respectful. He knows what you want to do before you do it. He plays the fool for you. But I tell you, he's never foolish. I was a little bit worried about him, because living in a jungle like this, a universal jungle, where dog eat dog, where everybody take advantage of one another, how could he survive in such a horrible environment? And then I took time and observed him. And I discovered he has a mind of his own. I continue to review his actions and activity to make sure that in the nearest future he does not submit to anybody foolishly. And I'm happy he's in control of his mind and the whole of his life. And then there is yet another. He'll be talking, he'll be looking at you. If you like, do anything. What you want to do is what you want to do. I would have used cane on him. I would have harassed him. I would have dealt with him. But I think I know better. I guide him. They don't function the same way. And going back to the Bible again, Jesus said that a man who sent his two sons, for instance, he asked them, go and fetch water. The younger said, Daddy, I'm going now, but he did not go. And then yet another, he said, go. That one said, I will not go. But he went. You see, we don't function the same way. And so when you call all-inclusive meeting, there are people who love slavery. They love slavery. They love suffer. One of my friends in those days, his name is Ojikeri. Ojikeri. Only he can carry 100 bags of cement at once. They will be hailing him, Ojikeri, Ojikeri, Ojikeri. One day I call him, I said, boy, this name will kill you. Must you struggle to feed? And you want to work with that person? You talk him out of Ojikeri. What about those who eat by grace? And when they realized it, it is good to be hardworking. But he that labor from the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun will eat the bread of sorrow. Baba Soka near Sonkowa. And now we are all in the same ship. We are fighting for the same thing. And then people are not informed. It's causing delay. It will continue to cause delay. And seeing narrative changers trying to manipulate everybody. It is too late. It is too late. You cannot manipulate everybody. The truth is coming up. My sister Faith Ogala, they are now calling George ONYIBE mad people. This is what they did to George ONYIBE, but George ONYIBE was stupid and idiot, and George ONYIBE did not see it. She is the one that is stupid. Josephine Erewa, all of them from Delta, they are the ones stupid. I made a broadcast to that effect. Now they cannot gather all Delta people. Use Delta people, gather them, blackmail me. All of them, I don't hear their voice on Radio Biafra again. And so they say, Siamo na Delta people, they fight themselves. Now Siamo na Delta people, then fight themselves. And a normal defense stood behind me. They countered all those lies. Is that not why all of them went back in shame? No, they are cursing themselves. They are disgracing themselves. They have not disgraced themselves. Uche may for place on curse on all of you. No father Mbaka, no prophet, no man of God will remove that curse. The There must be a total transparency. First of all, the people must know, how do we intend to get this Biafra? How do we intend to get this Biafra? Second of all is that there must be all complete inclusive, all inclusive. And the third thing we need to do is to ensure that there is total transparency. Transparency. Nobody is perfect. Understand that. When you talk about transparency, I don't hear American president stealing money, Japanese government stealing money, German president or prime minister stole money. All these news don't trend there. How would they steal it even though they wanted to steal it? There are delegated authorities and people who mount on these corridors of each of these offices, understand the need why everything must be on, should I say, white and black or blue and black. The president will come to the governor of the central bank and say, I need you to print 1 million naira. And then the president of the central bank would say, why should I do that? The president will say, because we need cash. And then the governor of the central bank, who I believe should be an economist, would say, have you considered how it will affect stock exchange? Have you considered how printing more currency will affect economic of the Nigerian state? Have you considered the danger of inflation? There are so many areas to consider. And the president says, yes, I have done that. And then it is his duty of the president of the central bank to direct him back to the Senate. And then they begin to reveal it. And then you go through different floor, reading from one reading to the other reading. And after they read everything they read, if they were transparent, they won't sign for loan when we have what will give us the loan. A government that go and borrow money, they borrow money to run administrative expenditure for the year with all the natural human resources that we have available. How do they want to pay? It's just like somebody who lives in one room apartment. You lived there for 1 year. At the expiration of 1 year, to renew your rent, you don't have money to renew the rent. And then you go and meet somebody. Please borrow me money. Let me pay for my room. In 2 weeks time, I will give you back. The money you cannot save for 1 year, and I borrow you. Is it the one you are going to pay me in 2 weeks time? That miracle you want to do to pay me back in 2 weeks time. Why did you not do it to pay, to be able to renew your house rent? Transparency. Once you have something, cockroach in the cupboard, leaders are no longer transparent. And when leaders are not transparent, there are people who reason in the same line of thought with you. They will know exactly what you are doing. And you know what will happen? They can never trust you. They suspect you for the rest of their life. And if they don't trust you, how could they love you? If they don't love you, how can they support you? Transparency. When you set an agenda, allow everybody to come, let them do it. But of course, you have ultimate target and goal. That should be where your duty post is. Mind the outcome. If we want Biafra to be restored, you must be transparent. How many pro-Biafran group today can come up and say, look at we are in the open? Only very few. If we are transparent, restoration of Biafra will come speedily. Number 4, accountability. Every leader must first of all understand that you redeem accountability. Honestly, it's not easy. Nobody asks for perfect accountability. But you must be accountable to the people supposedly you are leading. Which Nigerian president can give us account of how they run their office? None of them. Which pro-Biafran group leader? Which church leader? How many of you can come out and give us account? It's almost impossible as far as the Africans are concerned. Why? Because maybe they are not properly informed. Maybe they don't understand how it works. I handled the building project for a man. Maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago. The man works in SPDC. And so, I was totally or completely in charge of any form of procurement. And so they were sending money to me. I have my record book. When he sent 1 million, I put the date and I tagged that 1 million. And from that 1 million, he said, buy cement, buy this, do this. I will state it down like that. This project lasted almost 4 years. At the middle of the project, 2 years later, he took leave from office specifically to audit me. I didn't know. And he said, yes. How much have I given you for the past 2 years? I told him. He said, how long do you think it will take you to give me the breakdown, the complete update? And this is where accountability comes in. I spent night upon night upon night trying to get everything intact. Because along the line, I was almost being careless. It don't matter, the man no dey even ask. 2 years later, But I thank God I didn't forget. I was able to bring it up to him. And on that day, let's assume he has given me 30 million naira. And I was able to account for 29.5. And I don't know where 500,000 entered. I battled it throughout the night. What do I do? Do I adjust the figure? What do I do? Honestly, I did not eat this money, but I don't know where it falls into. And I summon courage. I say, I will not adjust the figure. I will tell him, this is how it is. And the next morning he came, having informed him that the update is ready. He looked at it. He just went, he said, how much is the total money? He saw it there. How much did you spend? He saw it there. Yeah, but what you spent here, 500,000 is not on record. What happened? I say, sir, I don't understand. I have tried to check or find out where I spent this money. I can't see it. The man looked at me and said, George, now I know you are a honest man. It's an economics. He said, see, in my area of expertise, in my field, if you have given me accurate account of this money, I would have known you are a thief. He said, it is not done that way in economics. You can't give accurate record. As far as the money has gotten into such tons of thousands and millions, you can't give accurate record. Because there are provision for miscellaneous expenses. He said that money you cannot account for, put it under miscellaneous expenses. I was shocked. He said there was a day I came to the site here. I asked you to buy drink for every worker here. Did you buy that drink that day? I say yes. You bought bread for them also? I say yes. Is it in your list? I say no. Or are you using your money to buy drink for workers that are requested for? I say it's true, it's true. He said, you see, there are many other instances like this where I gave instruction for you to use that money for to sponsor a project that is not part of this project. But anyway, just do what you have to do. Accountability. People know, hey, somewhere along the line you stole the money, somewhere along the line you ate the money, somewhere along the line there is misappropriation. Be ready to give account. One of the greatest challenges now the country is going to face. The only thing that will save him is let him collect amnesty from Nigeria. They will give him Mopo to be guiding him. Then your fool will bring 20,000 for me. I cannot transfer 1 million for me. Send 16,000 for ESN. All of them using all of you. All of you are catching yourself thief now. He can't give account because he is the supreme leader. He is the accountant general. He is everybody. If you venture ask question, you are a saboteur. If you are ready to give account. And that is why sometimes I see some people, they say, when you are paying, pay like this, you can ask questions, you can do like this. And finally, dominating our political space. As Biafrans, having reviewed the roadmap by ONYIBE, of course, coming from the Biafra de facto customary government. Political solution. Getting involved in politics. And ONYIBE distinctly clarify it. We're not ordinarily going to be PDP, APC. As Biafrans in the Nigerian state, we have a political space. We must dominate it. We must control it. We must take advantage of it, one way or the other. This is one of the things that is giving the Yorubas political advantage even in the midst of this terrorist country. Because the full animal will shut everybody down, but they control their political space. When Omotekun was initiated, the Jagabans of Hausa Fulani, they rose up, begin to issue, to say many things. But because the Yoruba control their political space, they go nowhere. Omotekun is still there, doing wonders and miracles. What did you think gave them that advantage? Because they could speak big English? Because they have AK-47? Because they have militants? OPC will kill everybody? No. They control their political space. The same thing the governor in Osun State has said, it goes to Ife. The same thing they say in Ife, it goes to Ogun State. From Ogun State, it reflects in Osun State. You cannot penetrate anywhere. When we talk about taking advantage of our political space, why we are still here in the Nigerian state, it goes beyond Tiwalanku. Onyejekake Buhari, Onyejekake Buhari, Onyejekake Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. It goes beyond all those Egumuna. But of course, I do not think it is proper. I review everything. But of course, genuine men and women are out there to begin to initiate some of these principles, bit by bit. Believe me, we will get there. If you don't know that is what is supposed to be done, you can never appreciate it when it is done. And you will not be able to perceive or understand when you are being deceived. All these years we have waited for Elohua and Elohim to give us Biafra. Miraculously, because we are children of Israel, we fall from heaven. Elohua was bringing Biafra. And all of us were bamboozled. For how many years? And they are still doing it. Let us embark on prayer. 150 days of prayer. We shall pray. After pray, something will happen. Is that how Israel got their freedom? Let us pray. Let us fast and pray. Let us do this one. Let us do that one. Imagine they call Buhari or president of Nigeria at any given time to give a New Year speech or resumption of it. He now begin to say, we are going to pray. Oh Lord, every spirit of undevelopment, we bind you, we bind you. Every spirit of poverty, we bind you. President. That president should be changed immediately and taken to a psychiatric hospital. They don't do this. They go to the drawing board. They go to the table. How much do we have? How much are we owing? What exactly do we have to spend this money for? Which one is on the top list in terms of scales of reference? And when this decision, when these issues are sincerely decided, we will have a progressive nation. And if this principle, there are so many of them, of course they fall under this same category. If they are initiated sincerely, we will see, we become invincible. The same people who say Nigeria is negotiable, you cannot negotiate inside the negotiation. It's a unity of integrity is unnegotiable. Rubbish English. They are the one who will now be saying, okay, let us do like this. They will tell you their fears. And of course, it is because we hope for a better future, which we know can only come through the division of Nigeria. That is why we do like this. That is why we agitate. We spent almost a lifetime trying to see that which we desire. It is not forthcoming because there are men and women who are out there who has vowed and deliberately making effort to make sure that we are not in control of our destiny. And then somewhere along the line, because we are men of God, we have to deceive ourselves and pretend that all is well when we know that all is not well in the right senses, because it can never be well when you are inside the well. It is not possible. The people of Biafra, this is the time to open your eye. Reconsider what is at stake, what needs to be done, so that we can go home. Our time is fast spent. In conclusion, if this platform are initiated or activated in the Biafra restoration project, it is going to be more of a domestic affair instead of war affair. We are able to put all these things together. It becomes a domestic affair. Of course, when I say it becomes a domestic affair, it's like when mama is making okra soup. They don't consult Oracle for it. They don't go to YouTube to know how to make okra soup, except you are not from Biafra land. A domestic affair, very easy. Not war affair. Everything we did in the past that looks as if it were not coordinated or we were out of order. Believe me, we were coordinated, we were in order, and those things were specifically introduced to be able to hit a point. We got everything we wanted. But somewhere along the line, I will leave it at that. At this moment, our lines are open. Our direct line is 081-221-52971, 081-221-52971, 081-221-52971 is our direct line. And of course, our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642 is our WhatsApp line, and you are free to call in if you are able to access my studio line. But in the absence of that, we'll continue to move on. You will hear this message and let this message be embedded in your spirit, body, and soul. I'm joined by one of us. Can you hear me? Call out the line. You're welcome, Ada Biafra.
Everybody, and happy New Year to Biafra Nation and family and everything. Was in the village, so network is disturbing. That's why I did not foresee. I just want to thank you for all these teachings. In fact, any day you preach on the other day, we say is the best. But all these things, I thank God that He's leading us to our freedom. That's the best. That, no, I think it's happening the whole world. Now that they have that no more national anthem. Now, it's for the people. They will do sacrifice in this new year. Let them go to school. Schools will open by 10th of this month. Go to schools and go and stop them. Let them go and stop them now. Let them go and stop them and know whether they have had, as you said, which of the children and bring them to sing. of the Biafra. You do tender to for what? You see how this, you know, I always say in this land, no one and to be responsible for your doing. You not know what you're doing anymore. You will keep on doing things that will make the land is holding you responsible for your. This is what is happening in life. The people of the country now have opened their released their hands and opened their nash to know that they are these trouble makers. They are not fighting for Biafra. Now they are building hotels. You hear many saying that they are building hotels. And see somebody that have vomited them. So they are building hotels with the money they collected. No wonder they are fighting somebody like as if there is no other, another day will not come. No wonder. The blood one. The blood one. Because God has been shared. You guys have shared the people people for people have shed blood. So because of that, the money that give them. They can use it and do whatever they want to do. Sometimes we see that land and see that business and take it on their own. That is what will happen because they are opening their nash themselves. It's good. But just, and I know that after they have finished, all of them will use their hand and put themselves inside the SS dungeon. They will use their hand and put themselves in the hand of the enemy. Because that, as their leader, is in the hand of the so they will follow. Now that they are doing all these things that are doing, all these things you created in Biafra, all of them will pay for it, one by one. Yeah, and the ones that you produce instead of eating goat meat or cow meat. And sometimes they are eating human beings. They are eating. And they tell me that this is the people think that I'm going to keep hiding, keep hiding. Not a one is hiding in the countries that nobody knows. No. You put your hand and open it for them to touch you. You like go beyond.
Of course, that is very terrible network, I must tell you. My sister, I think I am losing you. I think I am losing you. We can't hear your voice anymore. But then, we continue to make effort. If you can hear me, I'll advise you to call back because your voice was not coming out anymore. Though it was not very clear, but it was not coming out much again. And so if you are still there, you are free to call back. And of course, Biafrans want to hear what you have to say because it is important. It is important. We go to the caller on WhatsApp, Ada Biafra, eagerly waiting for you to call back to complete your contribution. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me now?
This is Ada Biafra. I called back.
Yes, it's better now.
I don't know whether they are monitoring me each time I call. They will cut it and let me call back again. I said I will call back to finish what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that all of them will use their mouth and destroy themselves. I've told them which you have caused them, or director which you come from before have caused them. They are caused. You that they are doing, they thought that everybody is a reverend like you, that they will do and go away with it. No, not everybody. You can forgive them. All those ones that are using your name, then I see the hot, I see the pepper, I see they do this. That's only they slept with a woman. They killed that woman. You know that some of us doesn't understand these people. If these people call your name, start running from them. And if you are able to come out from their midst, start running. Don't eat their thing because they will kill you. Who knows you if the poison that they put in the woman's food and the woman eat and die. So that they will cover up so that because what they do is if they finish doing all those evil, they will kill all the people that follow them and do it so that they will cover it up so that those people will not be able to testify because a dead man cannot testify what you use him or her to do. It's what they are always doing. For the woman not to come out and say, hey, all these things you people are saying is a lie, they killed the woman. They killed the woman so that they will cover their sins. And you tell me that these people have ever think about Ebola or Biafra land in their own heart. No, not true. Let us see what the Nigerian government, who have hired them and they come to destroy the land, to destroy especially South East. Let us see. Now they are running to a boy. I told you the other day last time I called, I told you that all of them now are hiding in a boy state. They are hiding in a boy state because a boy state is very peaceful. They have chased all those mammon out of a boy state. Now they are hiding there because they know that place is very peaceful. Why don't they go to Imo State where they are eating human flesh and go and hide? They are now hiding in a boy state. Only one of them that they are looking for. You know that I don't know how many they divided now. Whether there are 3 or 4 or 5. Now they are pushing themselves, each other. They are now giving themselves poison. They are killing themselves. They are calling DSS for themselves. That's their work now. And these people wanted to destroy anything called Biafra. But you know that School Academy is greater than all of them. And he that is in heaven is above all. And he has granted that there will be a de facto customary government and there will be a Biafra Nation Alliance and there will be other pro-Biafrans that will join the Biafra de facto customary government. Thank you, Doctor. School Academy keep protecting you. On this new year, we will overcome. Since they said in 2020 that Eloha told them that Biafra is coming, Biafra we did not see. Eloha did not call them. No, nothing. Nothing. When they are doing the work of God, have passed many years now. They have turned to killer. They launch dragon. They want to suck all the blood of Igbo. They think they can go free with it. No way. All of you will not go free. They will answer to their evil one by one. I told them, there is nothing you will do to Biafra Nation Alliance. If you like, do whatever. One day you will bow to Biafra Nation Alliance. That's my own. You will bow, all of them, including their leader, including their ranter, Mr. Reader. All of them will bow to Biafra Nation Alliance. And they will know that they will do that. They know they will do that. And nothing will stop Biafra from coming. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much. Keep on blessing you. Keep you and your family, nothing will happen to you. No evil shall befall you. Anyone, if they bury it or they vote it, they do whatever, it will not affect you. Thank you for being there for us.
Thank you very much.
May God bless you and protect
Thank you very much.
And guide all the Biafra Nation Alliance.
You see.
Thank you, Doctor.
You see.
Thank you.
You see. We must continue. Yes, a caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me?
Good evening, my leader.
Good evening. You are welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Good evening, my leader. I want to especially thank you for what you are doing for us. God bless you. I also want to thank all members of this party. And I also want to thank those people that are actively contributing towards this project, because to be honest, it's not a one-man's business. It's something that needs joint effort. You know, I'm so happy to, listen through the FM transmitter. And I believe that a lot of us are also listening through this FM station, 100.5. So it's something that we need to spread viral. This message has to go across Biafra land and beyond, because our people deserve to know the truth. Our people deserve to know who and who did what. Because the history and records that we are making are something that when our children look back at, they will know how to go about anything in the future. Because we are already learning from history. We learned from the history of the war, and we learned that we don't have to repeat this war the second time. So when our children will look back at us, at what we and also I want to contribute towards what you are teaching us about trust and accountability. The truth is cannot be trusted. So if we have not been able to know what IPOB used all the money they extorted from Biafrans to do up to this stage, that means IPOB cannot be trusted. Anybody that trusts IPOB or the leadership of IPOB is just as good as a bingo. You know, if you call anybody a bingo, just know that the person is actively sponsoring what he does not know the head and the tail. So we cannot trust IPOB leadership. That is why every Biafrans must desist from involving themselves in their activities. this is the same thing we are suffering in Nigeria. There is no accountability in Nigeria. That is why we cannot trust the leadership of Nigeria, whether they are coming from governors or ministers, or as long as they cannot give account of what they are doing, we cannot trust them. I read a news today where that's a Vanguard news, yes, where about 178,458 arms are recorded to be missing in the police armory. So what are we saying? If the police cannot give account of the arms given to them to secure the land, that means we cannot even trust the system, because they are weaponizing criminals. They are invariably handing us over to criminals. That is why when they go for counter-attack, we hear that victims are innocent people in the street, because they have almost equal gunpower with criminals. Between 2019 to today, they are even numbering up to 500,000 firearms missing in their own custody. Meaning that they don't even have what it takes to secure us. They are not supposed to be trusted. These people are also complicit in the criminal activities going on in our land. So this is a system we are trying to extricate ourselves from. A system that cannot be accountable for what they are doing. Now, when you take any criminal to a police station, you are not even safe, because the police can change the story and release the person. And at the end of the day, the person will come back and haunt you. And even if you take innocent people to police custody, police will still play their own devil game for them to be able to benefit in that person's misery. So what are we talking about? Nigeria's system has collapsed to the point that nobody can have faith in this system. I was listening to a record played by Mazikidera Oduebene in this evening's edition of Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio's program. So El-Rufai was trying to say that the PDP party has a constitution that says that power should be rotating between the north and the south. That APC does not have it, but he wants to believe that somehow it's a conventional belief that brings understanding between members of APC that power should be separated or rotated between these two regions. But in the reality, this thing does not play out. What they want to believe is not even what we are seeing in reality. Because these Northerners believe that the power belongs to them. A system that we want to trust that we are part of, they now have this sentiment that power has to remain in the North. And it has been like this since inception of Nigeria and the times of political participation of common people. That is people electing their own representatives. Now, when you involve in election, you anyhow you do it, you still have a northern leader as the head. And this is a system that wants us to believe that we are part of them. What makes us part of them? How do they want us to have this spirit of brotherhood or a sense of belonging? So how do they want us to be part of them when they cannot even, lay a structure that we insist that this is what it is and this is how it should be, and that thing will remain like that? They don't have the power to, make power to spread across board. They want to retain it to the north. And when you talk, a particular group that has lost focus will now tell you that we don't have to participate in politics, that politicians are evil, that when you participate in politics, that at the end of the day, you are a slave to politicians. But at the end of the day, we will not participate in the politics and we will be the ones complaining. It doesn't make sense. It is when you involve yourself in politics, you elect your own leaders, people that will represent you in government, so that you hold them accountable. If they are not doing what they are supposed to do, you tell them, oh God, this is not what we elected you for. We elected you to do this and you are not doing it. This is accountability. And if they cannot account for their services or their leadership, that means they cannot be trusted. We have to find another solution. This is why we say that we will start to play the Biafra politics. The Biafra politics means that our own pro-Biafran candidates will be elected into the system so that they will go and show the world, this is our concern. This is what our people are crying out for. And this is what has to be met. It's not when a single man that is not even given power will now go and do signs, sealed and delivered on our behalf. And at the end of the day, we will not know what is signed, sealed and delivered. This is the same issue of accountability. And you still want our people to trust the same man that does not want to disclose what he signed, sealed and delivered. How do we want to start defending IPOB from their criminality? My people, is this not crystal clear that this group has been derailing the process, has been deceiving our people, has been suppressing, voices of truth? When you bring out ideas that will promote the struggle, they will impede it with their deceitful strategy, using the media to blackmail, to lie against people, to do all manner of silly stuff online so that you will not hear that truth. This is why the Biafra Nations Alliance has come up to, tell the world the truth, open the eyes of our people, and then take our people to the right channel. I know that as we are speaking, people from IPOB, that cause group, are already here talking rubbish and writing rubbish. But the truth has to be said, regardless of who is concerned. And if it is going to take us long, we don't care. Our leader Manzu Chimofo said that it will be a long haul for IPB, and that is what it is, because we are not going to back down anytime soon. We will keep telling this truth. We will keep dragging them until everybody is aware of their evil. And then we are going to insist that the right thing must be done. Right now, we have Anambra State as peaceful as anything man can think of after the election. But before the election, we are hearing so many outlandish claims that Soludo is working for Fulani, this one, and this one, and Soludo is sponsoring, even though all these things were just to put fear in people. And the worst of it was that people were killed in the process. At the end of the day, election was held. And today we have a governor that is feeling relaxed in his office. So what is our role in what is happening in this stage of the Biafran restoration movement? Our role is to keep on telling our people the truth. We must involve in politics, as simple as that. Anything other than this, we are playing to the gallery. Go and ask IPOB member, what are your groups, what are you doing in your group to make sure that Biafra is restored? You cannot even pick one single thing, because they as members, they don't even know their own roadmap. They don't have roadmap. They don't even know where their leader is leading them to. They're just following
They have one. They have one now.
If he says no election, yes election, half election. They don't even know where they are going to, because the group is confused. The man is just, trying to manage the group so that the little money he will get from people, he use it and satisfy his immediate family. Yes. So, but now we are in the platform where pro-Biafran groups are rubbing minds together, trying to push the struggle forward. Why not calm your head down and forget this ESN shenanigan and criminality and come to the right channel? come to the right platform. This is the platform that Biafrans must identify with, because we are holding the truth. We have the media, as a matter of fact. Just leave all these things IPB stupid broadcasters are doing. If you look at their broadcasters, you see people that are not mentally okay. Look at Uruago, the one that calls himself what is it called, Ikenga. It does not even make sense. He talks as he talks like a child. He does not even have common sense. Look at other broadcasters from other platforms. Compare it to IPOB broadcasters. You notice that IPOB does not even have reputable people. So what are we talking about? Our people have to remove their mind from IPOB. IPOB does not exist as a matter of fact. They don't exist. All their Idu, shenanigans and confusions, they don't even exist. We are moving relentlessly forward. So I also want to urge our people to continue to share this program and other programs subsequently. Make sure that you tell your people that FM station 100.5, as long as you're in Anambra State and as long as you are in Port Harcourt, that this program is up and running. We are henceforth going to be repeating our programs between morning and when live programs will be happening, so that our people will be tuning in at their own convenience. This is very, very important, because our people have to know the truth. They deserve the truth. They deserve to know the truth. So subsequently, we are going to be sharing the governance code documents on all our media platforms, so that Biafrans will get hold of this governance code and know how to follow the activities of Biafra Nations Alliance in cooperation with other pro-Biafran groups, all inside one umbrella, the de facto customary government of Biafra. This governance codes will be shared in all our media platforms. If you can download it, download. If you can read it as text online, you have to read it. As long as you have identified yourself with this struggle, you have to know the contents of this governance code, so that we know where we are moving to, and we apply ourselves accordingly. So I want to thank you, my leader. You are doing a great job. I am blessed with your leadership, and I will always pray for you and other members of the Biafra Nations Alliance. God bless you, sir. And God bless Biafra.
Thank you very much, my brother. Of course, that is the head of the media, Biafra Nation Alliance. Of course, we have a nation to deliver, and so all hands must be on deck. We cannot just stand idly, claim gentleman, and while we see some criminal-minded individual endangering the future, destroying the future of the next generation. Biafra is something that will be restored. Make no mistake about it. But the process on how it is restored is very important. This is not the time to play games. The hour of deception is gone. We must rise up. We must tell ourselves the truth. We must do the right thing. Caller on the line, your name and where you calling from. Caller on the line. Caller on the line, can you hear me? Caller on the line, can you hear me? Caller on the line. You're not talking because I cannot hear you. Of course, that should be network issue, but then we keep trying. If you can hear me, caller on the line, you please speak up because we cannot hear you. And so, our people must remain focused. This is the time where we need to do what we're supposed to do in order to ensure that Biafra is restored. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. Don't allow anybody to put you to shame. The roadmap is out there already. You see, what appeals us or what we want to hear, what we want to say. Everybody will say, God has said through prophecy, this will be and that will not be. No. No. We have passed that stage. We have passed that stage. We have passed that stage. The deception is too much. If everybody were to arrange themselves before a pavilion, the governors, for instance, and they tell you how many billions they've given to Nnamdi Kanu, it will shock you. It will shock you, I tell you the truth. Caller on the line.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I've been hearing you.
Yes, I was not hearing you, but now you are
okay.
Sound and clear. Go ahead, please. Welcome to the program.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir, from here. I said to the men and women of good conscience all over the world, I said good morning, good afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. I really thank you for the message tonight. You have already said it all, and all the other people that called before me. Before I will augment some of my own points to what you have already analyzed, I will start by recapping the words of our daddy in the Lord by saying that the very way forward for this thing we are doing is by persistence or resilience, truthfulness, and humility. These three things will carry us go far for what we are looking for. That we must be honest in everything that we do. Because when we are honest to ourselves, we tell ourselves the truth. All of us know ourselves. Nobody that will ever say, I don't know myself. If you are lying, you know that you are lying. If you are saying the truth, you know that you are saying the truth. We know ourselves. If we should tell ourselves the truth and be honest in everything we do, that's the beginning of the restoration of our Holy Land. We should also try to be doing something so that at least you will provide small things for yourself financially. Restoration or agitation for a new nation is not a criteria to where somebody will even abandon the small thing you are doing and just focus for the agitation, and that's why they start making merchandise of it. Because everybody's eye and truth is there, that they want to start eating from where they have not established. But if you find something, no matter how small it is, God says that whatever you find your hands doing, that is, which is really a legal thing, that He is going to bless you based on that. But when you are not doing something, how will you be praying, and how will the prayer be answered while you are not doing anything? And also you have elaborated on the getting involved. We must get involved in the matter that concerns the economic and the political stability of the nation. Because the place we are going to restore is a place that everything must work the way it's working in other developed countries. We must fully get involved in the economic matter and political matter. You elaborated much on that before. A situation whereby somebody didn't even know or give analysis of they didn't even know how they are going to come about their budget for the year. How will they get the money?
to do that, you go on borrowing. And you don't even know, like as you explained when you are talking about going to tell a governor of a central bank to produce more money. They don't know what inflation is all about. They thought that when you have much cash and every other natural resources is normal, or nothing is coming out of it, then you claim that you know what you are doing. Take for instance, we produce oil. You get that crude oil, and you know there are many other components you get from there. From that crude oil, you get kerosene, you get fuel, you get diesel, you get even coal or bitumen. There are many other things you got from there. Then you will produce it, you go and sell it out, only to import one single thing out of those diversities of resources you give out. Is it not pain wise and foolish? If you are living such kind of life, you don't know what economy is talking about. But if we are involved to make sure that we project and improve our economy, as we are improving our economy, and because they don't actually understand the meaning of natural resources or the things you can produce by yourself, that's why the politicians go as far as packing money to go and bank it in that side country, then making your own country dry. But in a situation where they know what active participation is all about, and they know the interest of the masses, people that have already elected them into the office, and they think about them and think the way bill and the way forward about them, they will now try to make that country to be a paradise for everybody, not all of them. Not only the political class. Let everybody enjoy that thing you are enjoying. You will see everybody will be happy. Nobody will be antagonizing each other again. Then, when we try and build a nation where peace is, and if we build a peaceful nation, then it will restore hope. When you find yourself in an enclave where there is no hope for you, you don't have hope for tomorrow, that's the time we normally fall back on the scripture, saying that the scripture says you should not think of tomorrow, just think about it, that you should not have any thought about what you will eat tomorrow, that tomorrow will take care of itself. All the things are the scriptures lazy people always like to quote. If you didn't, there's this thing I normally say, if you didn't picture the future you want to feature, then you will never feature in that future that you fail to picture. If you want to become lazy, you will now start claiming that you don't want to think about tomorrow. You must make a plan. It's the pregnancy of today that gives birth to tomorrow. If you didn't make a plan, how will your tomorrow be good? We keep on saying Nigeria will be better. Or now we are talking about our own nation, Biafra. Biafra is here. We have already resolved it. It's coming to raise the flag. I don't know whether dragon flag or which flag. It's coming to raise the flag of a place you did not have any occupation in it. You don't have any achievement in it. Nothing. In a nation, like as we are talking about, we are going to build a nation. And in building a nation, there are other preliminary things that are still involved. Things like creation of things like national paraphernalia. When you talk about all those national paraphernalia, we talk about things like flags, national stadium, national airlines, national language, and national mind. All these things are the things needed in a country that is to be built. And people are shining away from it. If you didn't have all these things in place, like there was a time the reader went and drew Star of David inside the Biafran flag. Anyway, he tried for that one because they posted it, the people argued it. Many people rejected it. And that's why they went back to the initial one that was dead. All those things, before they brought out that flag, people sat together and discussed it. Like during our predecessors, within the 3 years they are able to print our currency. They brought out that flag. They brought out the national anthem and other things inclusive. For the past 10 years, the other criminal people that hijacked the agitation that have been going up and down with it today, what any new improvement or any new establishment have they achieved? Nothing. So they don't even know that it will be good if there is a airline in Biafra side or national language. We discuss of the right language to use. Then we talk about the strength, how the strength of the nation will be, or we talk about big stadium where maybe we want to do anything. All of us will gather there and do. All these things are needed in the country, but many of them are not taking go that way. We will also think another way that we can still hasten the restoration of our nation is to maintain and establish democracy. What is democracy? Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It's not a government where one man will become an emperor, or you impose yourself, or you superpose yourself on others. Even when people say, I'm not going with you. The book of Amos says that work together unless they agree. Can you come out and feel that you impose yourself on every other person without even doing the right thing that those people will like? A good leader is the one that will think about his electorate or the elites. You think about them first and place them in your shoe, and that thing that you feel that is good for you, you will do it for them first. Out of happiness, they will be the one to raise you high. And that's how he came with the pretentious attitude, saying he is a servant, and we thought that he came with good faith. It's only for now we helped him to climb that we now see the true nature of him. There must be, or we must maintain tolerance amongst the ethnic groups. Do they maintain that tolerance now? No. Because your brother or your sister did not buy your own ideology, you send somebody to go and get him or her eliminated. If there is any tolerance, all of us will know that we are looking for one particular thing. In a situation where we are able to gather ourselves together and build tolerance or maintain tolerance among all of us, we will know that we are getting there. There must be accommodative of the diversity in our society. For instance, they should not allow it to be like where we are now trying to live. For instance, we have different religion, we have different language, we have different cultures. All these things are the things that we have to accommodate one another in the new nation we are going to build. And all these things are the things that are supposed to be put in on top line and make sure that all of them are revisited. Then when all these things are done now, we will now make sure that we will not be like the former charlatan groups that we find ourselves in before. Because the reason why we want to come out is to do these things different from where we are coming from. All the things that we are castigating Nigerian state doing is the one that are doing the triple of it now. For instance, let me ask Icon this question. They said they banned singing of national anthem of Nigeria in Biafra land. Did they also ban the using of Nigerian currency in Biafra land? Because that's the major cuckoo. Nigerian currency, what is the name? Naira. They are still using Naira. Still using it to send it to their families to be buying something. Even the people they sent into the bush, they are still using Naira. That's why they always come out to steal. What are they stealing? Naira. And you say you abandon singing of national anthem. What has national anthem to do with the restoration of Biafra? I think where they're supposed to start first is that currency. By the time you're able to secure your own currency, and they forgot that our predecessors were able to bring out currency that they were using before the power was withdrawn from their hand. They had their own currency, they had their own government, they had everything in place. Anytime I meditate on all these things, I will only conclude that our ancestors are more righteous than us. They know what they are doing and they focus on it. I'm not saying that they're completely perfect. No any single soul is perfect apart from God. They made their own mistakes, but their strength outweighs their weakness. But our own now, like I say, they're always jumping into people's forum saying roadmap. Do they themselves have map to talk of road? They don't even have map to talk of road. Otherwise, if they have map, they would have not come out to start talking about not singing of national anthem. Then they are going to produce a book. They produce 2 books. They are going to be teaching their history to their children. Which their children? Where are you going to? Where are the gathering center where you will be teaching them that your history? Do you have any school? No. Do you have any social club? No. Do you have any non-organization NGO center where you created, where your people normally come to receive one help or the other? No. So how then will that teaching of the history work? Or will you just enter to somebody's school and say, all of you, come here now. I want to teach you my history. Or are they going to impose it on a Nigerian state or on the private schools, impose it on them that they must teach this thing to their children? So there are certain things. You know that you have already failed. You are a total failure. Instead of you to give chance for people to think are right and know what they will start doing, you are still on the road. You don't want to enter heaven and you don't want to live and go to hell, but you stood between the entrance to heaven and the hell, barricading people from entering heaven. And you yourself, you don't want to enter. Now, for people that are still talking of Aida, when they talk something reasonable finish, they will come back and spoil the whole thing. They didn't know that this thing they think that others are doing, that they are not doing well, that their leader is the pivot with which the evil rotates. He is the one that is building and producing all those evils they are seeing today. Because many of them are just judges into the system. They didn't know what that man has committed, the gravity of the offenses and the calamity and the crimes he has committed. Look at it now, like my brother said it during audio game. They rush and did their propaganda to post that Ohanese say their experiment must be released unconditionally this year, otherwise they will not be election. People started bombarding them without knowing that they're not the one. They themselves used their original way of propagating their propaganda. See, when the Ohanese president was forced to come out and issue a disclaimer to debunk their lies, that the thing is not coming from their table. What a shame. How long will they continue in this their delusion? How long will they continue with this their daydreaming and hallucination, thinking that they are getting it without knowing full well they are not getting anything? They keep on deceiving our gullible people, keep on killing our people, thinking that will give them the truth. But like as we always say, that deal or contract he signed with the Nigerian government to come and wipe out Biafra people, it will backfire back on him, because our people said that when you know that something is going to happen, you will stop it. It will not happen again. It happened the time we thought that he is real. But now that we have known whom he is, it will not happen again. By the time the ghosts of the land will start pursuing his family and all of them, all those gara-gara they are doing, they will now know that Nigeria is not Ghana. That thing they are looking for, they will get it and get it 1,000 fold. Judge, I thank you for the good work you are doing. Your analysis is nothing to be compared with. Keep on teaching us. We will continue keeping on and keeping on, as our director normally say. And we know the tomorrow's own will even be greater and better than today's own. I thank our director, Mazi Uche Okafomifo, Mokezuko, the gentle lion I call him. He kept mute and silent. The charlatans thought that they have gotten him Mugu. They didn't know that he's an articulated man. That so now, just ordinary mouth he opened and told God what God will do to them. The masquerade have started dancing. So there are people that know the God they are serving, and those that call saints. At the end, we will know who is who and who is getting it right. And before I conclude tonight, we must get involved into the political sphere as we talk, either to interface or to fully get involved in whichever form that is requested that we will do it. We will do it so far we tell ourselves the truth and be resilient in what we are doing, and also be humble in what we are doing according by our daddy in the Lord. At the end, we will get what we are looking for. For the bingos in the bush, I wish you well. If you will still continue in the bush in the year 2022, it's over to you. If you want to come out and join human being outside and listen to the gospel truth, it's all over for you. We can take horse to water, but you will not force horse to drink. Then for the bingos themselves, if you think that writing rubbish in our platforms will make us to stop, you are fueling our engine. And the more you do it, the stronger and wiser we become. With this, I finish here. I say thank you, Mazi, or thank you, Diokpa, for your good work.
Thank you.
From here.
Thank you very much, Agwonwanyi. Thank you for joining the program. Of course, this is where we draw the curtain for this evening segment. The truth cannot be overemphasized. If you like a banned national item, if you like ban the use of all these things, are just to keep the people's brain dormant. Very soon now, unknown government will start killing teachers. They will not say, oh, Eluhua is killing them. We told them they must sing national item. Eluhua is killing them. They are gone to Jesus to judge. These are signs of people who don't know what to do. They are not catching saboteur. Let's show we are relevant. What a shame. That is civil disobedient too. Don't sing national item. That is civil disobedient. Quite unfortunate. If we want Biafra to come, there are couples of things we need to do. And this is the time we get serious. I want to appreciate those of you who call in to make your contribution. Negative or positive, it all works for our good here. Those who are working tirelessly to make sure this evil does not have a firm footing place in our land, I thank all of you. I thank the Creator who has given us the enablement to stand in the gap. What else do I have to say? I remain George ONYIBE, and I sign out from here. Good night from Biafra land. Ndewonu.